My fiance and my family and I make these jokes all the time. Like, if I say I'm blind, and one of them will be like, wait, you're blind? And I'm like, ugh, did I not tell you? It's really funny hearing other people do the exact same joke. Clearly, I'm unoriginal, but it hits every time. What can I say? Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. You can use code Molly Burke for 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. Every date I've ever been on has been a blind date. I'm so funny. In case you randomly clicked on this, for context, I'm blind. Because without knowing that joke it's not funny. Frankly, it's hardly funny when you do know it, so it's fine. Let's all move on. Today, we are going to be reacting to one of my disabled sisters going on a blind date. Now, my reaction videos are very genuine. I truly do not watch... The name of the channel is Truly. I truly don't watch these videos before sitting down and watching them with you, so you are really going to be getting my genuine thoughts. Truly is one of those channels that loves to feature disabled people a lot. I'm sure they make a lot of money off of the disabled people. They also sometimes make kind of like what feels like a clownery of disability or like a mockery. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. Some of their content lands well, others I'm like side-eyeing heavily. This one in particular comes from a series, and in this series, they send disabled people with all sorts of different disabilities on dates with non-disabled people. Now, often in shows that feature disability and dating, it shows disabled people always dating other disabled people, which is equally as problematic. We don't just date other people who are disabled. We equally don't just date people who aren't. So I think it's nice when, it's never happened from my knowledge. I would want to see shows featuring the full spectrum of both experiences of dating with disabilities. I myself have dated other disabled people, and my fiance is non-disabled, so goes both ways. But yeah, it's a really interesting concept. I have seen a few episodes over the years from this series. It always feels very like prescriptive, which I'm sure it is, which would mean the production team creates a vision board, a storyboard for the episode. They cast like a casting call, and then they kind of plug and play the characters into it, meaning they often start it the same way, end it the same way, prompt the same questions to the people in the video. They don't always feel super authentic, even though they are set up to be kind of like documentarian, to feel very real. It's like all forms of reality TV essentially, where nobody's being handed a script of what to say, but they're being put in a position to spark a certain outcome. And so yeah, I'm very intrigued. However, the title alone, I can't handle it. And this is, I guess, the part where I would say I feel like Truly sometimes makes a mockery of disability, or just certainly is coming at it from a very able-bodied gaze, able-bodied lens. It doesn't feel like they consult disabled people on the positioning, or that they even, and potentially even ask the like person featured if they feel okay with that title. I know because as talent, which I've been many times on shoots like this, I generally don't get asked or don't get a say, but it feels like the titles are sometimes like, oh my God, heavy eye roll. So for example, the one we're reacting to today, born without arms and my date thinks I'm cute. What? It's giving, you're pretty for a blind girl. Like, it feels like they're trying to create this title to have shock value, which means they think it's shocking that somebody would think somebody without arms is cute. That's how that title reads to me. I don't know if I'm just being like overcritical, so I'm very curious to hear other disabled people's take, but I feel like when you have a disability, especially a physical one, it is so often that you get comments on your appearance that are backhanded, like the "you're pretty for a blind girl," that doesn't feel like a compliment to me when people say it. Like, what does me being pretty have anything to do with me also being disabled? It doesn't. So anyways, curious to hear your thoughts. But before I get into reacting to this video, I do want to thank the sponsor of the video, which is Squarespace, a longtime partner of this channel. And you guys know these videos cost me money to make, and without partners like Squarespace, I wouldn't be able to, especially reaction videos, which overwhelmingly do get demonetized completely, meaning I make no revenue from ads on the video. So without a sponsor, it means I'm out of pocket to pay for this video to be produced. So really grateful for the sponsor, Squarespace. I've been hosting my website, mollyburkeofficial.com, on Squarespace for as long as I can remember at this point, but this past year we did totally revamp it and give it a facelift, and we used one of their newest tools to help us. Design Intelligence uses cutting-edge AI to help you build a beautiful, bespoke online presence for your business or brand that fits your unique needs. All you have to do is answer a few quick questions, and then it helps generate the website for you. Of course, you're able to tweak it from there, but it really makes it so simple and seamless. And once your website is up and running, you can start making money immediately by selling content. You can sell anything from courses, blogs, videos, or memberships. And then you can set up recurring revenue by putting up a paywall. Just set the price, and then you choose whether you want a one-time payment or a subscription. Even if you don't make content, there are still ways to make money on Squarespace by turning any lead into paying clients using proposals, estimates, contracts, and even invoices all through your website. So if you're ready to get building your Squarespace website, head to squarespace.com/mollyburke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. The best way to support this channel is to support my sponsors, so thank you so much, and let's get into watching this. Maybe we're gonna cringe together, maybe it's gonna be good. We don't know. Okay. I have a feeling there might be times when I need visual description from my sighted fiance.
I was born without arms. I am getting ready for a blind date. The outfit that I'm wearing shows my shoulders so that my date will know that I don't have arms. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, sure.
You are very cute.
You too.
Did they tell you I didn't have arms?
Wait, you don't have arms?
Oh my god, I know. Where did they go?
Okay, I'm assuming that was like a little trailer teaser for the episode?
Yes.
Okay.
I was born without arms. Medically, that would just be called bilateral aplasia of the upper limbs. I'm getting ready for my date. Maybe wear some perfume so I don't smell bad. I'm definitely very self-conscious about it. Meeting someone that like uses their feet for everything, it can pose a lot of questions. That's why I'm doing this, so people can see it's not that scary. The outfit that I'm wearing shows my shoulders so that my date will know that I don't have arms. That's gonna have to be okay.
Pause. Okay, so for visual context for people who also can't see what's going on, the B-roll they're showing as she talks is her getting ready for the date, like doing her makeup entirely with her feet. Obviously, she referenced that she does everything with her feet, but they're showing visuals of that. I remember the first time that I saw a representation of somebody born without arms was Jessica Cox. How funny would it be if this is actually Jessica Cox? And I don't know because I can't see her face.
Her name is
Inga. Okay, they haven't said her name yet. Did they write it on the screen? Mm-hmm. Classic. Okay, her name's Inga, everybody. She did not introduce herself by name verbally, but Jessica Cox is so incredible. Look her up, give her a follow. She is a pilot, and she flies the plane with her feet. She puts her contact lenses in with her feet. She's also a motivational speaker. She was a big inspiration to me when I started my speaking business 12 years ago. I would like study her website and look at all her press. She was on the Ellen show. She shows how she ties her shoelaces with her toes and then slips her feet in. Like, so incredible. And I remember seeing that representation like 12 years ago. And I had never met anybody without arms or even with upper limb difference, which is funny because now being like so in the disability space, I have so many friends with upper limb differences, but representation like this really does matter. The other thing that stood out to me about what she said is that she feels self-conscious, and it always makes me sad, but equally I obviously completely understand that feeling when you're in a body that isn't like everybody else's and you don't see representation of that body being highlighted as beautiful, sexy, desirable. It's hard to then feel that, right? Like we internalize that, oh, the world just doesn't see us that way. And I think that's why the title to me is like problematic, because it makes it seem like it's surprising that somebody would find somebody with a physical disability attractive, which reinforces that mindset for us as disabled people.
My name is Dustin. I'm 27 years old and I'm in med school. My type is somebody that is that I can vibe with really well, that we can have like a really easy conversation.
Sorry, I'm like slightly chuckling because he's in med school. And I will say there is like a stereotype that a lot of disabled people date people in the medical field because people in the medical field like A, have a little bit more knowledge and understanding, and B, tend to be like a little less fazed by it because they see it all. But It's really funny. There is like a trope that disabled people date like physiotherapists, occupational therapists, doctors, PTs. Like it's just a kind of like joke. So it's funny that they picked somebody in medical school. Anyways.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, can I give you a hug?
Yeah, sure.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
My name's Inga. What's yours?
Dustin.
Dustin?
Yeah.
Have you ever done a blind date before?
No, first one.
This is my first one too.
Nice, yeah.
So do you work here? Or do you go to school or?
Yep, I'm in my third year of med school.
Oh my God, that's so cool. What kind of medicine do you want to practice?
So I'm leaning towards psychiatry.
Okay.
That's definitely like what my
that's so cool.
interests are. Yeah, thanks.
Oh my goodness. Wait, can I ask what you are?
I'm 27.
Okay.
Yeah, how about you?
I'm 22, but I'm turning 23 on the 23rd
Oh, nice.
of this month. Yeah, so
Very
I'm very
cool.
excited.
Very cool.
I am philosophy and law, criminal justice and society, but I want to go into like law school, obviously. Do you drink coffee? Do you want to order coffee?
I would love coffee. Perfect.
I was gonna get you water.
This is really funny because this is just like the most boring conversation to be watching. There's nothing interesting, but at the same time, that's kind of the point. Like going on a date as a disabled person is just going on a date, but it is like funny to just be watching this because I'm like, okay, it really feels like I'm just sitting at a coffee shop overhearing somebody's like first date get to know you convos.
Did they tell you I didn't have arms?
No. Wait, you don't have arms?
Oh my God, I know. Where the f did they go?
Oh.
I know. I literally had to like go out and find them. No,
Pause. My fiance and I and my family and I make these jokes all the time. Like if I say I'm blind and one of them will be like, wait, you're blind? And I'm like, did I not tell you? It's really funny hearing other people do the exact same joke. Clearly I'm unoriginal, but it hits every time. What can I say? I'm curious, sighted human in the room. What are they doing while they're talking? I'm assuming they're eating or drinking, and I'm curious if they're showing her doing that like at the date with her feet or like what's going on. Okay, I got the report, the full report. She has not taken a sip of the drink, but we believe it has a straw. So, there's the intel. Riveting stuff.
I wonder what to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say about it? Like,
Yeah.
Pause. And on the note of straws, we all know when everybody went on a crusade to ban the straw. May I just remind everybody that the straw was originally invented as a medical device for disabled people. This is an example of a person who, if we ban straws everywhere, we are now asking that disabled person to do extra labor of bringing straws with them. So she would now have to make sure to remember every time she leaves the house and might want to get a drink when she's out to pack straws with her. That's annoying. So just remember, straws are an accessibility device. It's fine if you don't need them. If you don't need them, don't use them. But don't act like nobody should get to use them because some people actually require them to be able to independently drink.
Arms, it's like very interesting, right? Because you sort of live with it every day. So even though I feel like I have had to spend my entire life working to find new solutions to do things or to get places or to do what I want to do, it's the only thing I've ever known. So for me, it's not this, crazy different thing. It's just sort of adapting in a world where you are not the standard norm, I guess.
do you mind if I ask you questions about it? So, like, is it something that you were born with, or is it something that happened later on?
Yeah, so I'm adopted, so I don't know a lot of like my personal history, but I've just always been born without them.
How's that been?
I mean, it's all I've ever known, so I think it's been a pretty chill time. I think like when I was younger, I felt like really guilty about it, living in a society that's not very adaptable to that and like needing help through that.
Yeah.
But then recently I was just kind of like, is that my fault or is that just the fact that we live in a society that's like very geared towards one very specific kind of person?
I think you have such a great attitude.
Pause. We love the medical versus social model kind of narrative, character arc for her in her personal disability journey. Love that. Also, I love that he asked, is it okay for me to ask questions? I think that's a really respectful way. A lot of people feel like they are entitled to ask disabled people questions, even very invasive ones, that you would never typically feel you have the right to ask the average person their medical history. But I appreciate that he got permission to ask before launching into questions. And I feel like the way he's asked them has been very respectful, which green flag, we love to see it. It's giving psychiatrist.
Okay, I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Okay. He's very sweet. He seems funny, which I like. And yeah, it's going really well. He's cute. He has a nice, cute little flirty smile. I like it when he smiles. Do they ask you any questions?
Yeah.
Can I ask what they asked when you
Yeah.
said?
They were like, what do you think? And I was like, I gotta get out of here.
He's funny.
I gotta
He has
run.
vibes.
Yeah,
They're
but I'm
both
assuming
good
you said
together.
the same,
Yeah.
so.
Do you want to switch my straw over?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Pause. Love that. We love a queen who feels confident enough to ask for what she needs in terms of accommodations, which can be really awkward and really hard on dates, especially first dates. But I think it's a really good test. Like for me, I have often had to on first dates. Bless, I will never have one again. Love that for me. But I've had to ask for a sighted guide to get to the bathroom. I've had to ask them to read a menu to me or to orient me to like where food is on my plate. It can feel really scary asking somebody that, but I feel like once you get to a place in yourself where you are not ashamed of your disability and you feel confident and you realize like the date isn't about him liking me, it's about me liking him. I feel like that was a big shift. In my younger years, I felt like every date was about like proving myself and making him like me. And I feel like I had that shift heading into my current relationship of like, oh, I should actually prioritize if I like them. Like whatever about them liking me. Do I like them? And that means like being wholly myself, confident to ask for what I need when I need it, and their reaction to that says everything. If they pull a face, if they seem awkward and uncomfortable about it, that tells you that this might not be the person. It might be somebody who needs a bit more time and they'll get there, but equally it might just be a sign that it isn't somebody who's comfortable being in an interabled relationship and learning and supporting in those ways that you might need. And even, you know, if your caretaking needs are small, you might still have them. And it's important that you have a partner who's comfortable playing those roles when and where needed. So I like that she like confidently asked and he seemed to like receive that well. He seems really confident and like very like witty and cute. She seems to match his energy. Like they seem to have the same sense of humor and she seems very friendly and warm. Like I love their vibe together overall.
Okay, you asked something.
Sure, so do you go out much?
I think of myself as very extroverted, and I am, but like, I don't go out very much. I live with 3 roommates, and sometimes my roommates will go like 1, 2, like 3 times a weekend, which is great and amazing for them. I just don't have the stamina for it. I'm more of like a drink boxed wine and take my Adderall and do homework in bed kind of girl.
I love it.
Pause. I feel like this is the extrovert but disabled challenge. I am a huge extrovert. I'm an energizer bunny that loves to go, go, go. However, when you have certain disabilities where you're constantly in every moment of your day needing to adapt and accommodate, like blindness or like having no arms, it's tiring when you're always doing things in ways that maybe are slower or take longer, or you're always taking in more information and trying to figure out ways to do things, that depletes your energy more. So I feel like I'm always in this like extrovert wants to go do everything, blindness making me more tired and requiring me to get more rest so I don't burn myself out. It's a real problem.
Very chill.
Sometimes I go out and I'm completely fine and I feel so confident and I have such a great time. And I will get hit on and it's great. And then there are definitely some times though where I'll just have like one too many people like look at me and it's always like, do they think I'm cute? Do they think I'm harmless? Are they uncomfortable? Are they being creepy?
Yeah.
And then I can get like really in my head and like sometimes I'll go out for like 30 minutes and I'm like, I have to go home.
100%. I mean, you know, I'm not harmless, so I don't know your
like,
experience.
I completely understand.
I
Let me just
completely
chop them
get
off right
everything
now.
you're saying. But I mean, you know, there's so much like truth into what you say.
And I think I have to remember that this happens to everyone too. Like if I do something clumsy, I'm like, oh, it's because I don't have arms or I don't do this. And I have to remember, I'm like, yes, you do things differently, but like everyone has bad nights. Like, and I think it is kind of important to like not reflect that on yourself because like people can be kind of gross.
Yeah.
Pause. I love that she said that. That's a feeling that I've had a lot. I remember many years ago, I did like a little TikTok, Instagram reel where I was like frustrated that I tried to do something independently that seemingly was so simple that I felt like I should have been able to do. And in the process, I knocked something glass over that I obviously didn't know was there and couldn't see it, and it shattered everywhere. And then this thing that was super easy, me grabbing everybody some cans of drink off a shelf, became everybody rushing around to clean up the broken glass, move me out of the way so that I didn't step on it and hurt myself, getting my guide dog out so he didn't step on it and hurt himself, and just being like, oh, we'll just get the drinks, it's fine. And like, I felt so bad about myself because I was like, ugh, I can't even do like simple things without making it like this big scene for everybody having to step in. And it was one of those things where so many people in my comment section were like, Molly, I'm sighted, and I do that. Like, knocking glasses over and shattering them is just like a part of life sometimes. And it's hard when you're disabled to separate the fact that like, sure, maybe I wouldn't have done that if I was sighted, but maybe I also would have. And you have to give yourself grace. I also feel like I am lucky in that I can't see myself, or I can't see people staring at me, though I do know it happens when I go out. I hear about it. But I do remember being in that like early 20s party stage and going to bars or parties and people are drinking and getting loose-lipped and just making like the most annoying, irritating, repetitive remarks about my disability. And that would definitely be something that made going out less fun. Also, the safety element of like being tipsy out at night with strangers and worrying about my own safety as a disabled person. So I can definitely feel what she's saying here.
It was so nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet you too.
You have a nice smile. I like talking to you.
Thanks, you do too. Do you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
How'd the date go?
I think it went pretty well. What do you think?
I think it went pretty well.
Okay, well, they kind of had to say yes when they're being asked in front of each other if they're going to go out again. But I really hope they actually did, because I feel like the vibes were vibing. I like them together. I wish we had like one of those updates at the end of the video that's like, they've been in love and exclusive for the last 8 months. But we didn't. So we're just going to manifest that worked out because they seemed like a vibe together. Let me know if you'd want to see me react to any more videos in this series or from this channel, and I definitely will. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this. Use code Molly Burke for 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. And for another reaction video, you can click over here or over here. See you next time.